For the second part, we're going to try to create speed from these values. The first thing we have to do is enter zeros for the first value. And there's a pretty obvious reason. How do we do a delta D from the beginning? We can't. Our first pair of values is here. So we have to do 1 minus 0 over 1 minus 0. The final speed will be 100 minus 81 in a time of 1 second. Okay? How do we do that with a formula? We go in here, we'll hit equals, we'll put a bracket, and we'll address these two rows here. B3 minus B2. And the time is going to be A3 minus A2. A3 minus A2. And bracket. Notice it's highlighted the cells we're going to work on. I hit equals, and you go, wow, that was so much easier than my calculator. Wow, sir, thank you. And I've made a mistake here. I've gone ahead and done it in the wrong column. So I'll just change my titles. Okay, because I'm just an idiot some days. I'll click on here. Here's my little pip. I'll drag it down. There she is. All my speeds have now been calculated. The problem is, what you got to realize is we've taken an average speed. We look at our graph. Cooperates with me. Come on, I'll bring this back over here. We've taken an average speed between two data points. So remember, it applies to the time in between. So this means the time is going to be the average between those two times. I could enter that manually, or I could even enter it as a formula. So let's do a formula for an average. What does an average mean? It's going to be the first time, A2, plus the second time, A3, divided by 2. That makes sense. And so the time is going to climb like this. Ah, that's good. So this was the speed at each of these moments in time. So now we can create a second graph. So I'm going to back out here a little bit so we got some room. I want to graph these now. So I'm going to drag it along, insert, chart, and now for whatever reason, it decides to graph it backwards from the last one. So what am I going to do with this? Well, first of all, I don't want to see that. So I'm going to go in here for now and pick a line chart. There we go. Okay, it's straight line data. But the graph is backwards. Okay, so let's go over here. Edit. And how did it go backwards? Well, I can just peek right there. D and E. I've got them backwards. This shouldn't be columns D, it should be E. So go in there, change that to E, change that to E, and now we got this correct, okay? And then we go in here, edit, and change this to D, and this to D, okay? So D should be speed, okay? Now, this is the problem with these spreadsheets. Let's look at our numbers. 0 to 8 is in fact, right, 0 to 8 to 10. That is definitely the time column. And 0 to 20 is definitely the speed. But the labels haven't fixed themselves. Why not? This is just what you have to do with spreadsheets. So you right click again and you go, oh, hey, there's titles. Chart, sub, oh, there it is. Look at that. Okay, where's my horizontal title? Ah, I see, it doesn't fix itself. So let's change that to time in seconds. And we fix that. That's better. Now we got to find, there's the vertical axis title. Ah, much better. So get used to the fact that you are better off hunting around till you figure out each spreadsheet. You go online and search for the answer, you might be at it quite some time. Just get used to the fact that these spreadsheets are great, but they can be really twitchy about certain things. So now we got a speed time graph. Now, how do we get the acceleration from this? Okay. You're going to get the acceleration by getting this slope. Now, some of these spreadsheets can actually calculate that slope for you. But come on, let's look at this. This thing is changed 19. It went from a speed of 19 from 0, and it did it in 9.5 seconds. So its acceleration is 19 minus 0 over 9.5 minus 0. It's literally this, equals 19 divided by 9.5. 2 what? This would have a value of 2 meters per second per second. That's the slope of that line. Okay, so that's your first thing I want you to do, is show me how you can create a distance time and a speed time graph and then present to me your acceleration. What if you want to do this visually? Then what you'll do is you'll zoom in here nice and close, go in there, and you can hit print screen key, and from print screen you can then paste it into another document. So I'll go over here, for example, and I can print screen like this, and there it is. And then you can double click this and get these pips, and you can shrink your graph down. Got to get these wide pips. And now it's being slow. It should crop that for me. And it's just going to sit there. There we go. Finally got around to it. And at this point, how could you demonstrate to me that you can do this slope? You can just start adding things in your Google Doc. And what you'll find is insert drawing. Okay. You can do a drawing there. Right now, you can use these tools and you can draw right on this. If instead you decide to do this in a Google slide, you can take the speed time graph like this, go into a new Google slide. I'll get rid of this. Paste it in here. Make it nice and big. You can go right here. And you can show me how you do a slope like this. That's all I do. And you can do control and a paste. Take the next one. Go like that. And you can quickly create for me a visual slope that you could calculate from. Okay, so that's what I'd like you to do today, is demonstrate to me you can take the data and make an acceleration graph from it.